God been crip walking all across that. How you, man?
God is good. When I tell you he is so good. I cannot make this up. And so moving on, like I said, I got into the department and I initially started working in information assurance. So the bureau overall is called the Bureau of Information Resource Management. It's the actual IT bureau.
Okay.
I ain't know nothing about IT. The lady was like, we see that you can write, like you're writing examples. She was like, IT can be kind of boring or whatever, but she was like, I'll help you grow as a professional. And she was like, do you want to take the job? I was like, heck yeah, I'll take the job. Wherever you want me to start, I will start.
What kind of question is that?
So,
yeah. Play me some pimping, man.
This the coldest podcast you'll ever hear. The way we coming with it, people witnessing greatness. Be a part of the journey. I would say it's perfect timing, but it's God's timing. We locked in a time capsule with this one. We got timeless topics. Guess what? I'm your mother's favorite host. Your little brother's OG. I go by the name of Armand Lindsay. But the neighborhood call me Big Pig. I want to welcome y'all to Big Boss Talk Season 2, The Rebirth. Let's ride. And welcome to a Black Man Thing.
Yo, what's up, everybody, man? It's another episode of Big Boss Talk, the podcast, man. I have a highly recommended guest amongst my friends. Like, I don't really know too many people, but I know Tree, I know Maya, I know Mariah. I think y'all did like a trip together. Tree, yeah, Tree, and I heard y'all had a ball out there in New York, and so this guest is very, just highly recommended. It was like, man, you need to get Sha-Care-Ra on the podcast. And I was like, okay, I'll do it. I'm gonna try to see if you can work it out with me, Tree. We can see if we can get it done. But man, let me give you a little bit about Sha-Care-Ra, right? So she's age 29, career job program analyst with the United States Department of State, soon to be a foreign service specialist as a regional public engagement specialist. Jeez, that's a mouthful. College degree, she went to Howard University. The real HU. So
the real HU.
look, listen.
Sorry, you Hamptonians out there. I'm just kidding. It's all HBCU love.
Yeah, all I done interviewed a lot of HBCUs, so they throw it out there. But American University and Liberty University, years in the profession, 6 years. Man, let me keep going, right? So I know I wanted to hit on this. So send me over a bio, super professional. Guys, like, this is the first time ever I done got a bio, so I'm definitely gonna read off this. All right, so listen. So she is a true connector of people and is passionate about the advancement of people. She is a public servant and social activist who empowers her community through advocacy, relationship building, and philanthropy. Her life's mission is to inspire women and men of color to harness their political power at every age and stage of life. If y'all didn't know, Sha-Care-Ra also has a podcast as well. We'll talk about that. We'll give her a time to plug that little podcast in. But she's like, I can't even read y'all all this, but just know she dope. Just know that. You know what I'm saying? She all that in a bag of chips. You know what I mean?
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. It's also from my community and people that have poured into me over the years.
Yep.
Treat them beside me.
Yep.
I think Maya went to a few plays when I was in high school.
Yep.
Just all sorts of things. So I appreciate everyone that has been a part of my village. I really do.
Man, that is awesome. Well, listen, it won't be Big Boss Talk the podcast if we don't do two truths and a lie. So I'm hoping you got some good statements. This one should be pretty hard for me. I don't know, but we'll see. And we'll see if we get the lie. So what you got for me?
I got some good statements here. Okay. So I have swallowed 2 of my teeth. I have a little brother and a little sister.
Okay.
I attended elementary school overseas. Now, which one do you think is the lie?
Oh my God.
Let's see.
Okay, so you swallowed 2 of your teeth is one.
Mm-hmm.
You got you say little brother, little sister?
Yeah, I have a little brother, little sister.
Okay, and then you did elementary school overseas.
Overseas.
All right, so I might have this one in the bag. So listen, elementary overseas. That's too. I'm telling you, some of these statements are too specific as far as like who would say they did elementary overseas. So I'm like, you definitely went overseas. I don't know how that happened or what happened, but I believe you did elementary overseas. The two that tripped me up is the little brother, little sister, and then the swallowing two teeth. But swallowing two teeth is very specific. Now, if you would have said I swallowed some baby teeth, when you was younger, then I might be a little skeptical. But you said two. That's a very specific number. So I think that is true. I think the lie is you have the younger brother, younger sister. You might have siblings. I just don't know if it's younger brother, younger sister. So you let me know. I'm going with that as the lie, and we'll see.
Wrong.
Oh my God.
Okay, so I did not attend elementary school overseas.
What? Oh my God.
I went to York Road Elementary.
Who would do?
Right to Rocky Hill. And I do have a little brother and a little sister. So I'm the oldest of my family. And then I swallowed two of my teeth. They weren't quite baby teeth, but I was in kindergarten and in the second grade. I lost two of my teeth and I swallowed both of them.
Oh my God.
I hit in the face with a red dirt clog and I swallowed one of my loose teeth and then I got in a fight and then I swallowed. Somebody slapped my tooth and I swallowed it.
Got in a fight? You a fighter?
I am not a fighter. I am a lover.
Yeah, okay. That's what
you put your hands on me.
Tree be saying the same thing, but she got a little feisty side too. So
Tree, we got a little spice to
yeah,
this.
Both of y'all.
Habanero peppers.
Yeah, both of y'all. So I don't know, but oh my God, how did I get that wrong? I mean, I could have sworn like
wrong, man. How'd you get that wrong?
Overseas though, who would think of that as a lie? Like, yeah, I did elementary overseas. Like, that's some off the wall. Like, no, they trained you well over there in the government. Hold them secrets.
Exactly.
Hold them secrets over there. Okay, that's what's up. That's what's up. So little brother, little sister. I also have. So it's five of us, and I got an older brother and an older sister, and then I also have a younger brother and a younger sister. So I'm the middle.
So you the middle?
Yeah, so I'm the middle. I'm the peacekeeper. I'm the. Yes, I try to be the glue for everybody, just to bridge everybody together. So that's respectable. But I look up to my big sister, so I already know. Your younger siblings look up to you. I'm like, yeah, my sister does this, that, and the third. And I'm just like, yeah, and that's always good to see. The smaller, the younger ones watching you. You don't know they watching, but they be watching, and they pick up. And they pick up on so much. So tell me let's go into it, right? So tell me, first of all, I always ask this question. Growing up, what did you want to be as an adult? Did you know you wanted to work with the government? Did you know you was going to be a program analyst of, the United States Department of State? Like, what was it that you wanted to do?
So growing up, it's kind of a... I guess you could say this. I have a little bit of story about this. So growing up, I used to think that I was going to be the next superstar. Okay, I'm going to be on TV. I'm going to be the next Oprah Winfrey. I'm going to be the next. I'm trying to think of somebody. I was just going to be a major actress on Broadway. That used to be my dream. Like I wanted to do musicals, all that good stuff. Right.
Gotcha.
I've always been into like acting, singing, doing plays, all that kind of stuff. And so in the sixth grade, one of my teachers inspired me to actually get into politics. So they were saying how I would be a great ambassador one day. And I was like, an ambassador? I was like, in the sixth grade, you're not used to hearing those types of words. You're just looking around like, okay. It is when we first had our little internet, so I got home with a little dial-up, trying to do my little research, and it just started from there. Like I saw that, ambassadors kept peace and diplomacy.
Yeah.
Like I said, I've always been into school politics. I don't know if you noticed, but I was class president from
No, I did not.
6th grade to the 12th grade.
Wow.
I stayed class president, ran my little campaigns, all that good stuff.
What a reign of power you had there. Golly, 6 all the way through 12th grade. Like people didn't see it no other way. You gotta you gotta run for the president for real.
Oh gosh, I know, right? It's crazy how that ended up happening. People used to be like, I don't even run against Shakira.
I feel bad. They was like, well, we're gonna lose anyway.
Right.
It's just for fun.
I used to sell my little candy bags. I used to have my little slogans and mottos. I was really out here like I was trying to go for the president of the United States. I was like, I'm gonna get this.
That's dedication.
Yeah, and so I just started looking up and researching different things, and then I was like, okay, well, most of the ambassadors are in DC. What's in DC? Where can I go to school? And then that's when I discovered Howard as an HBCU, and my parents both went to HBCU. So my dad went to Clark, Atlanta,
okay,
and my mom went to South Carolina State.
Okay.
And so that was already in my family, and so I was like, I'm gonna go to Howard. And so just from there, just doing research, and my teacher is speaking that one
word
thing over me. Yes, I believe that you gotta speak it out.
Yeah.
It has me here today, and when I got to Howard, I went into advertising, and I was like, I'm gonna be an advertising guru. I'm gonna go to New York City, that I can still do, my Broadway on the side.
Yeah.
When I tell you, I interviewed for like 10 companies. I'm not kidding. People flying me to New York. My mom coming up here with me. Wow. I was like, nothing ever worked. And then I ended up landing a job at the Department of State. So some things just come full circle.
That's crazy. What a full circle moment. So, we go from being a superstar, wanting to be a superstar, being on TV, possibly the next Oprah, you get a car. And then somebody talk about, you should be an ambassador, you know what I'm saying? And that one word just like click, it kind of stuck with you. And then obviously you go through middle school, you go through high school, and you just, obviously I'm pretty sure you're not thinking about ambassador at the time, but you just like, you know what I'm saying? You're just going through life, doing the regular stuff that everybody does, and you just end up at the Department of State. Like, I mean, that's a full circle moment, but then that also shows people like, as much as you think you got, you in control of your life, somebody else, God is in control of your life at the fullest. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can say, this is what I want to do. I'm gonna do this. You can be calculated as possible, but you can't calculate the wrenches thrown in your life. You can't calculate all the different things that actually matter. So it's crazy that that one word being spoken, and then it just comes full circle. I think that's super awesome, and I think for the podcast, I think, to let people know, I always try to say, just keep your mind open of opportunities. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't always stay narrow-minded. It's okay to have don't get me wrong, have a dream, but then also know that you can do other things and still focus on a dream. You know what I'm saying? Because you can find those different hobbies. So what are some of your hobbies, going through high school, maybe even college? Like, what are some of your hobbies that you just enjoy to do outside of, your normal job?
Yeah, so as you said, I love working in my actual community.
Okay.
I believe that there is no way to see or know what someone is going through without getting close to them. Mm-hmm. I think it was Ayanna Priestley that said that the people closest to the pain need to be the closest to power. Yeah. And I really truly believe that sometimes we have so many people pushing down, telling people, well, you need to do this, to get out of poverty, but you don't know what someone's going through, how they got in that actual situation until you get close to them, until you see that, hey, I'm missing basketball practice because my mom's car broke down, and now we got to get a ride from my grandma, and my grandma can't take my mom to work on time and meet a basketball practice on time. It's just things like that people never know until you actually sit and hear someone's story. And so I love doing community work, and any type of community work. I've done things, like I said, with organizations like Black Girls Vote, where we really strive to empower women 18 to 36 to really get out there and make their vote their power.
Yeah.
Anywhere from food banks. Like right now, I'm currently volunteering at a food bank here, and it just humbles you, and sometimes it makes you really think. Sometimes, like I said, I just broke out in tears there because I'm just sitting there, eating on fried chicken at my house or certain things and just throwing, food away aimlessly sometimes, not realizing there's somebody out there who doesn't know where their next meal is coming or who doesn't know how to feed their children, like are literally coming to get family bags of grocery because it's just no other way. And so those are the type of things that keep me going, and then also keep me up at night, because you can ask any of my friends. I'm always trying to find a solution. Y'all think about this? What if we created this? What if we I'm that friend. So that's one of my hobbies. And of course, I love to eat. I love food. I love festivals too. Okay. So like, the Broccoli City Festival.
Oh yeah.
Made in America. Just all time. I eventually want to go to Coachella. Never been. But I was like, they was getting too crazy. I need somebody to put the mask on.
What about Dreamville? You going to Dreamville? They say they just released the tickets.
Oh, well, let me go look at
that. Dreamville, yeah. So I know you said festivals, but they just released Dreamville.
Okay,
yeah.
I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna go do that. I'm gonna go look at that. Yes, festivals, and then I'm trying to think about what else. I guess some self-care.
Okay.
Like I love going to the spa, relaxing.
Yep.
Reading a good book. Now, it might take me a minute to get through it, but I'm going to get through
it. As long as you finish.
And movies too. Netflix, Disney Plus. If you need a subscription, y'all better call me, because I probably got all of them.
Please don't tell people that. Hey, what's your Netflix? You do not know them people. What's your HBO? And I can't tell y'all that.
Right, exactly. But only if I know you know that now. If you want just some random viewer, don't be trying to get in contact.
All right. Hey, listen, we got this podcast now, so we friends now. So I leech, I ain't paid for a subscription in about 5-6 years. So if something come out that I need, I know who to talk to.
Know who to talk to.
Bet. So that's what's up, man. So we got, I love, big advocacy of just, getting into the field, with the people and doing a lot of just giving back. That's one of the things that, I wish I need to do better at, what I'm saying, just to hold myself accountable, and like you said, being able to, because I have done community service work before, and you realize that you are very fortunate, you at the in the moment you feel like I could do so much better, and like I don't know why our minds are trained like this. As Americans, we're just trained to go for more and more and more and more, and then but when we look back and just see that people don't have those same circumstances, or they're not just circumstances haven't aligned, for the better for people, and you just be like, man, I'm so glad, like I just can be able to eat, or I just got a roof over my head. Like the small things start to add up, and I think that's how you keep moving forward. You know what I'm saying? I think gratitude, when you could be grateful about, where you come from, where you've been, where you're going, I think that it makes every day matter. You know what I'm saying? You wake up and be bad, but you be like, well, at least I'm at home, in my own home, AC blowing, complaining. You know what I'm saying? When it's people complaining, as far as like, man, I'm sleeping on this concrete out here and it's like 30 something degrees. So it's like, it's a totally different perspective. And I appreciate you for, doing what you do. And I think, I commend you on your actions. And because, you inspired me to feel like I need to figure out how I can, try to give back. I'm in a totally new city, Houston, but how can I help, how can I help the city of Houston? So that's pretty awesome.
Definitely, please. And I got so many friends in Houston.
Yeah.
One of my best guy friends, my other best friend, she's from Houston. So please let me know if y'all ever need anything, any resources.
Yeah.
Y'all.
Appreciate that. We definitely gonna have to put something together. So now going from there, I want to talk about your time at HBCU. So I always ask, I don't have regrets, but I do have one, and the only one is I went to a private Christian school because I was like, I want to play ball, I'm gonna go to the NFL, that dream. But every time I talk to somebody that goes to an HBCU, the amount of pride that people have to be like HU, you know what I'm saying? Or like Cleveland, Bethune-Cookman, man. I'm like, yo, like, and then all the experience, like when people talk about it, it's always like, the experience, you'll never get anything like it. The relationships. Like, tell me about your time at Howard and why you chose. Obviously, I know why you chose, because you said your mom and dad went to HBCU. But were there any other options on the table as far as an HBCU to go to school?
Yes. So when I say, I know you're gonna be like, dang, here goes somebody else saying it, but the best decision I've made of my life to date, I promise you. Like, I love not only just, I love all HBCUs, but the experience I gained from Howard University, I don't know if I could get that anywhere else. And by that I mean, and I know we hear it and say it all the time, but just the Black excellence. Like, you can feel it with Tree, Maya, Mariah. Like, you feel that, you feel that love in the room consistently. But imagine that being with thousands of people. Now, don't get it twisted. People had their moments where they were, catty and petty, just like how normal, regular people are. But at the end of the day, people put those things aside to help you get the internship, help you reach out to their aunt who the doctor that you want to model after, the person who got the uncle who the lawyer that's like, dang, he the top lawyer at his law firm. I got an internship with him this summer just because I'm his nephew's best friend. Like, you don't even, you finally see or feel like in a sense of what it's like over the years, and I'm gonna just keep it real for what it's like been for clear people to have nepotism in their family, which I'll be honest, I support nepotism because I just feel like as Black people, I'm done putting the resumes in and trying to outbeat somebody. If I know Auntie there, come on, Auntie. Come on. And that's who I'm going to be. I'm letting y'all know right now for y'all's kids. Y'all kids in the department, let's go. Pack them up. What y'all trying to do? That's going to be me. But that was the feeling that I got at Howard. And just to know where, like I said, when I left, Northwestern, like, I knew I was the top of the top. I knew I was the SHIT. I just knew that. But when I got to Howard, it was a humbling experience. I said, hold on. Man. I'm not the only person with the high GPA. No. I'm not the only person that was class president. I'm not the only person that had a scholarship. Like, and to know these type of people and the way that we all have clamored together, creating certain businesses. Like, there's so many people that have so many businesses right now that are just doing amazing things. And it's just like, how? And I just love my professors too. My professors poured into me in a way where they were like, we're teaching you not only how to get the job, how to survive at the job, as well as professionals actually came to the school to recruit people at Howard, like the Bank of Americas, the Capital Ones, the Digitas, all these companies came to Howard to recruit. So most people did somewhat leave with jobs and careers. There's some people that left at 22, 23 making six figures. That's that wouldn't be, I wasn't fortunate for that, but that was some people's experience.
Yeah, there's some people's experiences.
Yep.
Okay.
And I just loved it. I really did. I will support any child that wants to go to a HBCU, and of course, not being afraid. Some people be like, "Oh, it ain't diverse. Like, how you going somewhere with all Black people and stuff?" And it's like, no, y'all, we are the most diverse people ever. We are not a monolith. Like, everyone's experience is totally different, and we don't even know what it's like to get in the Caribbean or even the African diaspora. When you meet people that are actually from the motherland, it's like, oh my gosh, and you see like their attributes are literally the same things you do here. It's like, I know I'm from Africa.
Ain't no way you can tell me. Ain't no way you can tell me I ain't from Africa.
Yes, exactly. Yes.
Man. Listen, I believe it. I believe it. I love to live through y'all. I be like, man, that's amazing. Just because like you said, you left and you was like, you knew you was the SHIT, right? And then you go to a place. But the thing about it is when you left Northwestern, you probably felt like, I don't know, you was a SHIT, but you knew that it was a small percentage of you that was being the SHIT as far as like being black and excelling, right?
Yes,
When I went to when I went to South Point, like it was like I don't know, it just seemed like only a small percentage of us was like, nah, we're gonna take these AP IB classes and try to move forward and excel. Obviously, I didn't do too great in the classes, but
me.
I was in there.
But I tried.
Yeah, I tried, and I was trying to do the best that I could do. But it's like some of us, we feel like, nah, I'm just gonna kind of breeze it through, get on through, and that's okay. You know what I'm saying? If that's you, if that's where you are, then that's okay. But I wish there were a lot more of us that would try to excel, when we was in high school, just because you make yourself seem like, oh, you know what I'm saying? Like how you felt like, yeah, I'm the shhhhhhh because I'm probably the only me doing what I'm doing in high school. But then when you go to HBCU, it's like, no, you ain't a minority no more. You not a minority. You gonna have to get it. Like everybody else, and it ain't no. You can't use. Well, I'm the only black person. Nah, you can't use that. Everybody in here is black.
Black. Yes, you can't use that as an excuse. Yes.
Man.
Yeah. And that was our motto. So our School of C, well, School of Communications, let me call that. Mm-hmm. The motto was excellence without an excuse.
Okay. Got it. That's awesome. Hey, listen, I'm hopefully whatever my kids, if they want to go somewhere, hopefully I'm gonna be like, listen, you might want to think about HBCU. I ain't telling you where to go, but that's what I've been hearing. But that's awesome, man. I love that experience for you. I think that's amazing. And I think kids should hear like HBCU is the way to go. You know what I'm saying? It's not always about the PWIs. But if you're going for like a specific major, I would check to see which HBCUs offer your major, right?
Yeah, I agree with that. Yes, because not all of them do. And, certain HBCUs were founded a certain, type of way. So
Of course. So just make sure you do your research. If there's an opportunity for you to go to a HBCU, I would definitely take it and see what it's like for sure and enjoy those experiences. So that's amazing. Well, appreciate that. What we're gonna do now is I want to talk about the current job. I mean, how did you get to the current job that you're in now? Because you got 6 years in the profession. So I'm trying to figure out, where'd you get started, coming out of college, what was that first job? What was your process leading up to where you are now? And was there any type of struggle, getting to the position that you are now? Or has it been more or less like, I'm excelling at this job, a promotion comes, I apply, I'm off to the next one? Or, maybe you didn't like a situation and you left. What was your work experience been like so far?
Let me think about this now. Where do you want to start? We starting like at the department?
I gave you too much. I gave, it was a mouthful. Oh, let's start before the department. So let's do before the department and then how we get into the department and then go from there.
Okay, I'm just gonna be honest with y'all. I was depressed. Okay, I was like, I done went to Howard. I done got this top education. Somebody gonna hire me. Okay, it's like somebody is gonna find a job somewhere for me. Okay,
I need it.
Especially rent was increasing. All type of stuff was happening.
Were you in DC at the time?
I was in DC. Yes,
oh
I was
my
in
God.
DC. So I never came back home, if that makes sense. Like I always say, even in the summertime, I did orientation or ambassador, did something on Howard's campus to keep money coming in. So that's besides the point. But could not get anything like for the first, I want to say the first like year. So I was just like, oh gosh, what am I about to do? I'm kind of living off my parents. Well, how we about to do? I'm about to just be out here hustling. So I was just like, you know what? I'm gonna humble myself. Yeah. Everybody always start off at their dream corporate job at first. So I went to Hard Rock Cafe.
Okay.
And I was like, let me just apply to be a host. At this point, I got to get some type of money coming in. I'm gonna get some type of money coming in.
Right.
So I was a hostess, and then I ended up getting a job at Bank of America as a bank teller.
Okay.
So at this point, I'm working 2 jobs. And then I also decided, like, you know what, let me go back and get my master's. Wow. You know what? I ain't working nowhere. I'm gonna go get my master's from American University.
Yeah,
so I'm working 2 jobs, and
you like to be stressed. That's what it sounds like. 2 jobs and you want to go back to school? Oh, heck no.
all my friends say the same thing. Which I was stressed. I can be honest. I always forgive everybody because I was not the nicest person at that time. I was running from Bank of America to Hard Rock. Then I had to physically be in class. Notice this was before online, virtual stuff. Yeah. So I had to physically go to class too. It was a lot going on, but let's just say I made it from there.
Okay.
So then I had a few. This is why it matters where you actually work. So I actually worked downtown at the Bank of America, near the White House and the State Department.
Okay.
So my location was downtown.
Got it.
And so I had, you got your top client, your top clientels.
Yeah.
And you know me, as you can tell, I'm a chatterbox. So I'm gonna talk. When you come in with that check, when you come with that bonus, hey, what you do? Yeah. I need to know. What
you tipping kind of
what's your profession? Looking at the account, I need to know something. So I developed a lot of close, I guess you could say, clientele friends over. I worked for Bank of America almost had to be a good like 2-3 years or whatnot.
Okay.
So I developed a lot of, close friends or whatnot from there. Yeah. And so I had a customer, Mr. Tom Ferris. I'll never forget him. He had a daughter my age, 2 or whatever. And he was like, what do you like to do? He was like, you seem pretty, creative and stuff like that. I was like, oh yeah. He was like, I have a good friend that works at the department. He was like, I'm gonna set up a coffee chat or whatever. He was like, you should talk to him. Okay, cool. So I talked to him. His name is Richard Bowley or whatnot.
Okay.
Real cool man. Had did a lot for the department, had just retired from the Foreign Service or whatnot. And I was just like, oh, wow, that's cool. The Foreign Service. I was like, oh, my goodness. I was like, that's an opportunity for you to become, a diplomat, which is that's what I'm going in now or whatever. Okay. But I felt in my spirit that I was not ready for that. I was like, I'm not ready to go overseas yet. I'm not ready for that experience. So I was like, what are some other professions? And he was like, okay, well, the department has a pathways internship, which basically is like a pathway into the department.
Okay.
And you had to be in school at the time, and you had to had already graduated with your bachelor's, but they were looking for people that had their master's in school to train them to go into that field. So I was like, oh, let me apply, whatever.
Yeah.
So he was like, perfect. He was like, they're actually having a fair. This is the first time they're doing an in-person fair for jobs. Please go. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna go. And of course, being who I am, all my friends know I'm late to everything. And so I was trying to figure out a way, like how I'm gonna leave Bank of America to get to the fair on time. So I just, I don't even know I can say this on camera. I ain't gonna say it on camera, but
you gotta now you can't do that. You cannot alley-oop and then just, oh my
okay,
God.
I'm gonna be honest. I just lied to my manager. I was like, I'm sick. I ain't gonna make it.
Oh my God.
I'm not coming in today. I'm not gonna do it.
Right.
Well, of course, I'm staying up, working on my resume. So the fair was from 1 to 6 in the afternoon. So I was like, perfect. It's right in Arlington. I was like, I can just get on the train. I'll probably get there around 2 o'clock. I was like, I'm gonna be early and be on time.
Yeah.
Now I don't know. Have you ever seen the movie Baps?
Baps, yeah. I've seen Baps.
Okay, that's my favorite movie by the way. So do you know when Mickey and Niecy get to the interview and they like, we're the first ones here?
Oh yeah.
Like, I'm the first person here. That's me. I'm the first person here. Honey, let me tell you, Armand, the doggone line was three building sidewalks.
No, it wasn't.
I don't know if you've ever been in DC or even New York, but you know how big the actual
I've been to DC.
blocks are. So the blocks, people are lined up like that. I'm at the very end. The very, very end at 2:00 now.
Oh.
So I'm like, y'all, I was like talking to people. I'm like, how long y'all been here? What's going on? Somebody was like, I've been here since 10 a.m.
10 a.m. You time you to go, good buddy. What the?
I was just like, oh hell no, it ain't no hope for me.
No.
It ain't no hope for me. And it's so funny.
10 a.m. Man, boy, you better
It's
leave.
so funny that you mentioned about God, because this is nothing but God. I've only shared this story with a few people, and I believe in God, and I believe that God talks to us. He really do. If you quiet your spirit enough. So I just went to my spirit. I was like, God, I said, you know, I need this job. I said, you know that I can't do another day at Bank of America, Lord. I said, I just can't do it. So he was like, he was like, look in your bag. You got a piece of scratch paper and a pen. I literally, when I tell you it's a piece of scratch paper, it's probably like this, probably. Just a piece of scratch paper. He told me what to write. So I wrote on here. I was just like, I think I still got the picture of it. I'll submit it to you with the thing so people can see. I was like, thank you so much for all your hard work putting in today. I was like, you've been overwhelmed, I'm sure, with all the people here, and I know that you're gonna have to select the best candidates for the job. I was like, I've been wanting to work for the department, and I aspire to be a part of the department's mission one day. And I was like, thank you, Shakaria Buckson.
Yeah.
Now, how I knew to write that, like I said, it was God, because guess what's coming? Guess what is coming down the actual sidewalk? People of the department collecting people's applications. They said, we're sorry, we have too many people. We are collecting everyone's applications. You can go home.
No,
so I'm like, at this one, I'm like, oh my God, I can't even get in here. So the guy was like, well, I told you to write the note. Wrote the note, put it in there. I said a prayer and I walked off. And I cannot make this up. 2 weeks later, I got an interview.
Oh my God.
Out of all those people.
Nah, that is wild. That's one of the best stories I've ever heard. God been crip walking all across that. How you, man?
God is good. When I tell you, he is so good. I cannot make this up. And so moving on, like I said, I got into the department and I initially started working in information assurance. So the bureau overall is called the Bureau of Information Resource Management. It's the actual IT bureau.
Okay.
I ain't know nothing about IT. The lady was like, we see that you can write, you're writing examples. She was like, you know, IT can be kind of boring or whatever, but she was like, you know, I'll help you grow as a professional. And she was like, do you want to take the job? I was like, heck yeah, I'll take the job. Wherever you want me to start, I will start.
What kind of question is that?
So, yeah. So that's what I currently do now. I actually am in a position where, like I said, I started off in cybersecurity, but I moved to working now in the strategic communication office for that very same bureau. So now I do IT communications. So that's how I got here right now.
That's
6 years later, though. 6 years later, it was a process to get this job too, but I made it.
Wow, that's amazing. So, I mean, the story is crazy. Like by far, like one of the best stories I ever heard about somebody like getting a job, like just knowing like I need to write this note. You know what I'm saying? And then they coming down saying, sorry, we can't take no more people. And I know Buddy that's been there since 10 a.m. is pissed because he done wasted his whole day. and probably still ain't get the job, by the way. But hey, I kudos to him because that some people wouldn't even want to do that. But like, man, I mean, that's crazy. So tell me about, if you can, you know, what did you have so did your degree align with what you were doing at the department, or if it was one of those jobs like, hey, we like this special quality about you, we could teach you everything else on the job, because people are gonna want to know, like, what degree I need to have. Like, if I want to get into the Department of State, what degree do I need? Like, is it really just is who you know, not what you know? Like, how does that even work? You know? So, what's your experiences?
So for my job in particular, they were looking for someone with a communications degree. So like I said, my degree was journalism with a concentration in advertising.
Got it.
And then of course, like, you know how everybody put their skills or whatever. And I've always been computer and tech savvy. So they were like, oh, we like that you know how to, you know, do certain things with the computer, do certain attributes. So that is what helped me get that job, I guess you can say.
Yeah.
And then I ended up getting my master's in strategic communication.
Okay.
Which then helped me land a permanent job in the strategic communications unit for the bureau.
Okay, makes sense. So with strategic communications, because I got a mass communications degree myself, but with strategic communications, what are they going over in the program? What are they teaching you that you may not have learned when you was in undergrad?
Yeah, so in strategic communications, they were mainly teaching about, I guess you can say, the theories of actual communication. So I guess you can say like how red herring. So that is a theory that our infamous president, Donald Trump, likes to use a lot, that people don't realize that a lot of times in the media when people are talking, they actually are using a strategy, if that makes sense, to actually get their point across. Okay. So we learned about the various strategies of communication. It also brings in like crises communication. So when things go wrong or go AWOL, how do you handle it? Who are the first people that gets called? Almost kind of like on some Olivia Pope type stuff. Yeah. That's pretty much kind of like what strategic communication is. And like going back to red herring, that was a strategy, like I said, that someone presents irrelevant information in an attempt to distract people. So as we knew, like everybody wanted Trump to talk about what's going on with this, what's going on with this, and then he's like, "But look at Hillary, look at what she's doing." That's a strategy. That's not just his personality. Someone's actually writing those things up as to how to get you out of questions with the media. Man. And a lot of people don't know that. So that's why just how you were saying, like, dang, who thought of that lie? I was like, let me not move my head.
That's that strategic communications degree coming in handy. I might need to go get that one.
Yes, exactly. And I'll be telling a lot of people where, I hate to say this, but how everybody got their own vices. You got that one family member or person's like, dang, like, why they such a habitual liar? Like, why they just, it's almost like it's innate in them. But those type of people really need these types of jobs. Like, it's scary to the point how they can convince someone that what they're saying
is true.
Yes.
Man, it is. That is true. I got a cousin. I used to think he was one of those type of people, just could lie like nothing. I'm like, bro, you don't think about this stuff before you say it. Like, it just come out your tongue. He'd be like, man, it is what it is. I'm like, okay, whatever. As long as it don't come back and get me, because I'm with you, we good. But okay. And so what's the next step for you? So we in our current role right now. I guess if you can explain a little bit about what you do on a day-to-day basis, and then what you're trying to accomplish, and I think that'll kind of get us into the to the end point. Yeah.
Okay. So as we know, I will just go over because a lot of people don't know exactly what it means or what we do. So the United States Department of State, or also known as the State Department, is an executive department. It's also, it's the oldest department. So this is the first department that was founded by the founding fathers or whatnot for the federal government. It's responsible for foreign policy and international relations. Okay. So everything that we do has I guess you can say, an effect on the global community or whatnot. So I am in the Bureau of Information Resource Management, which technically is like our information technology bureau. So we handle and do all things technology at the department. So from the desktop computers to the radios overseas. Yes, people still do use radios because just what's happening, with Ukraine, when you cut off.
You can't hack. Well,
the lines you can't hack it. You got to be on the radio.
Right.
Yes, exactly. So people still use those overseas, as well as just the day-to-day intranet and our internet, and protecting I guess you could say the cyberspace of the department too. We have so many state actors and people that are trying to hack the systems on a daily basis. I can't go into necessarily details, but I am the person that is taking the technical information from the SME and breaking it down into layman's terms. So it might say your computer, they might send me something that says the computers will be shut down due to a patch of vulnerability 22776. Everybody to shut their desktops down, kind of stuff. So we're sending out messages to our actual colleagues, domestic and abroad, about what is actually happening. So it's like, hey, we have a vulnerability within the system. Everyone, this evening, please ensure that you turn your computers off. Don't keep them on, as we need this patch to get to protect the system. So that's pretty much like what I do. But the messages that are sent, it's a lot of people. When I first sent my first message, I almost passed out. So imagine you on your computer and you can send an email to over 100,000 people. That is what I do on a daily basis. So if we got a mistake,
the reply chain gotta go crazy. Oh my God.
Once it's gone, it's gone. Yeah, so that's pretty much what it is. It's not just emails either. We also still send cables, and that is a form of technology that we use that is a secure form of technology for people to receive overseas and on the other side. And we tell the importance of it, how important it is, who needs to read it. Does the ambassador need to read it? Does the chief of mission need to read it? To let people know what is going on and what is happening, especially when it comes to the system, because they'll shut it down, baby. You won't get on the computer at all. You'll come to work and be like, what happened?
Man, that sound, I ain't gonna, I'm gonna tell you, I don't know if you probably meant to do that. I just know that you reading off something. And so that let me know your job is important. And you got some high level, what is called high level, I forgot the word, but listen. Clearance, yeah, that's what it is. So clearance. So, but I appreciate that. And I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna break it down. So I'm gonna do your job, but on the podcast, right? So what you just said, and for people that don't know, layman's term, I'm a movie guy, Transformers. The little white girl that was in the movie, when Megatron and them boys was sending the little messages through, she was listening, and she was like, oh, let me change the frequency. And she was transcribing it. This is what they said. They're going to attack right now. This is what, I think this is exactly what she do. So if y'all don't know, there you go. There you go. She was in Transformers. But, but nah.
Yeah, we see a lot. And like I said, we always have to figure out a way, like we said, to be swift on our toes and to be ready, if that makes sense.
That's amazing. That's amazing. Yeah. It sounds like a very, just a job that you can, take pride in, something that's, definitely important. You could tell it's helping. It's helping a big part of just overall security, just for for the United States and just for the people overseas. So that's super important. I'm glad we got somebody like you in there.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, the security is important. That's why when people be saying stuff like, I don't care, y'all can send me, you don't want to be sent anywhere, baby. Let me tell you.
See what I'm telling you.
And that's how also us as a people, and this will lead to the second part of my job, that us as a people have not necessarily truly traveled abroad. When you travel abroad, you will have a different appreciation for the United States. So you really will. Now, I'm not saying that we have done everything correct and that we perfect. I'm not saying that at all. But I will let you know that if you go to some other places, you're going to be like, Mom, I'm ready to come back. I'm ready to come on back.
And you can't come back. It's crazy, man. Like, definitely, you could tell, like you said, you could tell who's traveled abroad and who's not. Because, obviously, from a normal citizen, right? I'm not within the government. I'm not seeing certain things. So bliss is happiness. You know what I'm saying? So we're blissful. So obviously, a lot of the American people, we speak out of ignorance of not knowing. So when people like you have this, this platform of, you have this job, you can always, you can't do it on a broad scale, but from, for the little small way that you have, is like, hey, you want to be mindful, you know what I'm saying? You want to be mindful, or you at least want to, reconsider about things that you're saying, or things that you're seeing on TV. It's just like,
yes,
you just don't know the behind the scenes, like what you said about Donald Trump. Like, some people just might think he's an idiot. You know what I'm saying? Like, and we're not talking about his presidency, but as far as his business acumen, I feel like you got to be some type of intellectual
yes,
to be able to have the type of businesses, and to be able to create that type of wealth, even though he had a good help, in the beginning, but just to maintain it, keep it going, you got to be some type of intellectual. And so knowing that, when people asking him questions, he's using a red, I think you said red herring, type of strategy. Is like, that's crazy, because to me it's like, all right, I don't know, it's like I don't want to give him too much credit, but I'm like, I don't want to make him seem smart. That's what I'm saying. I don't want nobody to think, listen, that is not what I'm saying. But he might be a little bit of smart. He might have some type of common sense. So that's pretty cool. And then I think you about to go into what's next for you after this.
So what's next for me is I am going into the Foreign Service.
Okay.
And I will be a regional public engagement specialist.
Wow.
I know that's a long title and whatnot, but I guess I can tell you more about the Foreign Service. So the Foreign Service is actually my first step towards becoming an ambassador.
Okay.
As you can say that. So I will actually, with my technical term, I will be a diplomat by trade, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So I'm very excited about that. Cannot wait exactly to see how that goes. And there are a lot of different benefits when it comes to the Foreign Service that a lot of people don't know about. I guess I can run them down. Like, if you're interested in
if you don't
career.
So if I was gonna say, if you can list a few of the things as far as like if they're interested in a career, like how you was about to say, if you want to elaborate that on a little bit. You don't have to do a whole spread, but just a little bit.
Yeah, so within the Foreign Service, people often say it's the best kept secret in DC. That's what people say. But basically, the Foreign Service is the same thing similar to the civil service. What I mean, my position is technically the civil service, but the Foreign Service means that you're doing the same thing for the department, but overseas.
Wow.
Yes, and so you actually have to live overseas. You have to live abroad. You have 2 to 3 year stints, I guess you can say, where you're in a location for 2 to 3 years, depending upon the actual location they send you overseas.
Yeah.
This is the part that's going to really take you down. I was like, hold on now. I said, God, you do it every time. Then guess what else?
What else?
Housing paid for.
Oh my God. What? So you over there living over there for free? Oh my goodness. What?
I'm about to get up and shout.
Man, that is wild. I mean, that sounds like a very long vacation, but do you know how much you could just like
save, put up to the side?
I mean, imagine.
Not only that, but if you are married, your spouse can get a job with the department as well. Like, you don't have to worry about, oh, my spouse can't find a job or whatnot. Like, if they say they selected you and Maya wanted to come as well, they would have to find her
a job,
some type of employment or a job too. Or you also get the benefits too of if Maya she found a job over there, if she wanted to transfer her job, here in America, they help with the visas, all that good stuff.
Yeah.
Also too, kids' education paid for. If he is going to the best school, somebody was like, one of their children was going to school with the royal family when they were living in Britain. Man. I was like, what in the world in the United Kingdom? So it's just very fascinating. I know a family, cutest little Black kids I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Know 4 languages.
Man,
they also teach you languages too, because when you go to the country, you have to get to a certain level of proficiency. So you get to come back home to learn the language. So imagine that's just your job.
Yeah.
Nothing else. You just learn the language before they send you to your next location.
Destination. Man.
So it's different perks and benefits like that. So I'm very excited for that. But in my position in particular, the regional public engagement specialist is basically in overseas. They have spaces called American Corners or American Spaces. And these spaces are kind of like interactive libraries where the citizens of those countries can be the first people to learn about America's history, our exchange programs, trainings if they want to, learn English as a second language. So I will be, I guess you said, like the project manager over that actual American space or corner. So I get to select like the movies that the children get to learn about and watch, the books, the magazines.
You the liaison.
I'm gonna have Essence. I'm gonna have Ebony.
Put them on the Black culture. You listen. They need to know what we like.
That's what I'm doing. I'm doing all of that, and then too, that's why I was like, I love that everyone, is developing their own platforms. I also get to bring speakers over, so everybody get ready.
Oh wow!
I know I'll be reaching out. Y'all need to come with some type of proposal or some type of learning or lesson that you all would like to teach overseas. So that'll be a part of my job. So I'm excited.
Listen, man, I would love to teach some. Put a little curriculum together. Maybe teach a little something. I would love to do that. Like I think that'd be dope.
Yes. So, they want to learn things about like podcasting and media. So these are the things that, like I said, because everyone's not fortunate enough to have the freedoms that we have. We can go on YouTube and look up things. In certain countries, the internet's not
accessible,
a free domain or accessible at all. Like, you don't see certain things. You only see what they want you to see on the internet. They pull videos down, all sorts of stuff. So we have the opportunity at the embassy to teach and show not just students, but their parents or whoever wants to learn about the quality of life in America, as well as learn about the different exchange programs we have too.
Man, that's amazing. I think what you do is absolutely amazing. I think obviously continue to keep working, because obviously you got to learn the language. So I mean that could bring different.
Okay, let me tell you. Pray for me. I'm gonna need y'all to. I need every prayer warrior right now.
Yeah, we got you. We gonna.
Y'all gotta pray for me in the area. Trino, Miss Golf Spanish class. That was nice.
Listen, we definitely gonna pray for you and keep looking to see you do amazing things. I think the opportunity that you have to be able to not only represent where you come from as far as like your country, but to be able to influence a different race or a different country through your ethnicity and be able to be vulnerable. It has to be I guess just a overwhelming feeling, but just it's a humbling experience as well too, because you don't know their culture and they only see glimpses of our culture. But to be able to to give a true representation of our culture and what we stand for and what we're all about, and to let people know, like, no, not everybody's idiots, not everybody is malicious or always want the worst. So there's good people out here and there's good people in America. So man, I think it's amazing. I think we should end the I think we found a great spot to end the conversation. I think, obviously we could have kept going. I think this is one of the most, one of the most insightful conversations I've had as far as just a different career path, because like the opportunities that are within the Department of State, if you were to go that route. But we also learned a lot from the year that you had off as far as being, in that depression state and being able, I'm pretty sure it was lessons you learned within that year where you were doubling, juggling maybe 2 jobs and going back to school that led you up to this point as far as like, I've been at rock bottom. So, everything that I witness now is nothing but, you can always just enjoy that because you know where you came from or where you started to where you're heading. So we wish nothing but the best for you, over here. The only thing we wish is that this is how we keep the podcast going. So recommendations, right? Somebody recommended you. You were able to hop on the podcast, and I was able to reach out. And thankful that you were willing to just say yes. I haven't came across anybody that was like, nah, I don't want to do it. But who would you recommend I sit down with? It doesn't have to be anybody that I know. If I know them, that's cool as well. But just somebody that you think fits the mold of the podcast, that is just super dope. Maybe somebody you look up to that I can sit down with.
Yeah, so honestly, I got several people. So I'll start off with my other best friend, Parker Gilkison.
Okay.
She works for CLASS, which is the Center for Law and Social Policy.
Okay.
Also would say Brittany Janae, she has a card deck of affirmations for Black people called Liberated Love Notes. So she talks about, the consciousness of Black people, and us becoming more conscious and more woke and finding ways, to love ourselves through more positive affirmation. Like, we don't have to work ourselves to death. Like, we're already, great and amazing how we are. I'm trying to think who else. It's so many people.
Listen, those 2 that you named seem like the super dope. I never met anybody with that type of credentials or just in that type of field. So if you could do, I always ask this, right? So because if you could send me however they like to be communicated with, I know some people are different about their cell phone numbers and everything. If you want to send me maybe an IG, or if they're comfortable with you sending their number, if you could just let them know, like, hey, I recommended you guys for this podcast. This guy, I know him. He's not a scammer. None of that. If you could just, he's gonna hit you up about the podcast. If you wanna, if you wanna do it, do it. If you don't, it's no big deal. They don't have to do it, but I would love for them to be on schedule a time to get with them and get on the show.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah, just give me a warm handoff. So that'll be good. That way they don't think it's a stranger. But Shakira, it's been fun. I hope you had fun.
Thank you. I had such a good time. I had a wonderful time. Thank you once again. Thank you for your kindness and your kind words pouring into me. I really appreciate that.
Yeah,
I promise I won't let y'all down.
Listen, you got it. No matter what you do, so you got it. You already walking in it. You know who you are, and you good. So I'm gonna let you go. Have a good rest of your night, and
thank you. You too.
Be on the lookout for your video dropping soon. It probably won't be this week. Probably won't be this week. Maybe next week. But just be on the lookout, and thank you so much again.
All right, thank you.
Awesome. You have a good day or a good night.
Too.
Sorry.
Ain't nothing gonna stop us now. We here. And we back. They say, Peanut, you so cold.